Hello, greetings, and welcome to what is hopefully going to be the first of a series of behind-the-scenes videos focusing on mod making instead of mod testing. And yeah, I hope to actually get into the CS today and make something. I haven't done that in a long time, and I have to admit I have been kind of feeling the urge to make something in the CS, so it'll be nice to actually do something, like build something, instead of just testing mods over and over and over again. This is kind of supposed to be prep work for Let's Mod Morrowind. You know, this isn't going to be like a tutorial video. This is really just going to be me, you know, faffing about in the CS. We're going to try and build a tiny mod. That's going to be the goal today, is to build a tiny mod. Whether or not we release it, that's, well, something we'll have to figure out later. But the goal here is to familiarize myself, you know, re-familiarize myself with the CS, get familiar with the OB data and terminal data asset packages, because, you know, just, you know, figuring out what assets go well, you know, what environments is like 50% of the work really in the CS. So anyway, we're going to go to Data Files, we're going to select Morrowind, Tribunal, Blood Moon, Terminal Data, and OB Data as, you know, or ESMs. Also, this is the first time that I'm using OBS, you know, instead of Bandicam to record my footage here. You know, in terms of the construction set anyway. I normally use Fraps when doing anything in-game. And historically, I made the Let's Mod Morrowind videos using Bandicam. But Bandicam has been giving me a lot of issues lately. I can't really get it to work very well, so I've been, you know, thinking about switching to OBS, and now I finally installed OBS, and we'll have to see how this video quality turns out. Because I've got no idea if this is going to turn out all that well or not. This is, you know, I did a little bit of a test run with OBS, and everything seemed to be working fine. But, yeah, we'll see. Now, normally, when I'm working on an episode of Let's Mod Morrowind, you know, I have some idea of what it is I'm going to build. You know, those are tutorial videos. So, when you're doing a tutorial video, you usually have some idea of what exactly it is you want to make a tutorial about. But in this case, not so much. I've got a vague concept that I want to do something in the Azurian Coast region, you know, somewhere near the monastery over here. I don't really know what. Like, we've got this road over here, which seems like a, you know, right potential to, you know, put a location of some kind. Got a Duma ruin there. We got tombs. We got egg mines. It's an egg mine, right? I think so. Yeah, that's an egg mine. What's an egg mine doing all the way out here without any cities or civilization or even a dock nearby? I got no idea. But it's there. So that's the statue of Azura. I don't know, is this egg mine occupied? I can't remember. Let's see. What is that? A Halirat? For Pete's sake, who comes up with these names? Okay, it's this one right here. So yeah, there's miners, miner 01, miner 02 in the interior cell. So it's an occupied egg mine, but are those the only NPCs? Sort by object ID. Yeah, there's only 2 miners in that entire egg mine. So it's not a big operation, whatever it is. So I'm thinking, so this right here, like this is almost designed to be like a location. Like look how the road comes up here, but there's nothing up here. Like as far as I know, there's no quests that take you up here or anything. The road just goes up there to the top of this hill. And this is like a perfect location for some sort of verticality inducing tower of some sort, right? Ooh, we could have a wizard's home here, you know? Maybe that would work, you know? We're near the Shrine of Azura. We got an egg mine nearby. We got this wizard's... Or, well, a velocity tower anyway, where a wizard might live. Got Duma Ruins. I mean, there's a ton here that would pique the interest of maybe an eccentric wizard. So, maybe we could do a Telvanni tower. We could do an Imperial tower. Telvanni would probably be the most logical choice, wouldn't it? I mean, I do like common Imperial architecture. I mean, that's kind of my jam right there. But at the same time, the region and location, like a common Imperial tower, like, you know, let's scroll down here. Past all the OB data stuff. XCOM Thatch Tower. Where is that? Tower Thatch. There we go. Like a building that uses this sort of architecture, I think would look pretty good. Right here. But a Telvanni Tower does have more potential for something verticality inducing, though I don't know about the size, because this hill isn't huge. You can't build something too massive on top of it. Let's go down to XT. So right, this is the, you know, the standard central column of a Telvanni tower right here. It's bigger, but you'll notice we're already running into space limitations, and that's before we even add the ramp to the outside. Let's see, where is that, by the way? That's not what I'm looking for. There's the spiral ramp. Okay. So let's see. Is this going to fit? I get the feeling that it... Maybe it'll fit? No, not really. Because we don't really want to mess around with the vanilla game mushrooms here. We want to add in a tower. I don't think there's any way we can get around the blockage there from the parasol mushroom. So I think that's a bit out of the question. Unless we move it. You know, it doesn't have to be dead center in the hillside. So where was I? Oh devil, I just had that. There's a spiral ramp. Okay. Hey, right, so does that work? That kind of works. I mean, we'd have to adjust it a bit. Theoretically, we could maybe get the ramp in. Sort of. Like, if we do it like that, that fits. But I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like, you know, common Imperial architecture, to be honest, so let's just stick to that. You know, we might not even release this, so it hardly matters if it makes sense from a lore standpoint or not. So, something common imperial. Maybe this is an eccentric Breton wizard who has moved out into the middle of the Azurian Coast. Maybe with a couple of retainers, you know? Or maybe this is an outpost of the Mages Guild. You know? There's a lot of research opportunities out here. Maybe they built a branch of the Mages Guild. I mean, not maybe the most logical storyline from a lore, a lore perspective to add a Mages Guild out here. It is pretty far from civilization, and you know, mages, they are quite vulnerable, and you know, they'd have to bring in their own gods almost. It is like a natural defensive hill, almost. I'm thinking. What else could we add up here? I mean, I like the, you know, the tower, you know, the common thatch tower with the, you know, the Dwemer towers in the background. You know, that's part of what makes Dagenfell work, I think, is, you know, the contrast between the thatch Imperial towers and the Dwemer towers. I like that. I really do like that quite a bit, but, maybe something like that as the basic design for the exterior. We can have some drystone walls going around the base, maybe a well, possibly even a secondary building, though that seems a bit unnecessary. But maybe a secondary building like for the barracks, because these mages would need to have a couple of guards around. There's also the question of transportation, right? Because while the Caldera, the Caldera Mages Guild has a teleportation pad, and that's the only method of getting fast travel to Caldera. Caldera is still on a major roadway, right? So it's pretty easy to get materials, you know, shipped up the Odai River to Balmora, and then, you know, build the city of Caldera where it's located. That's not too far-fetched, but here we'd almost have to like add a set of docks down here in order for it to make sense. Like, these roads don't connect up to any of the other roads, I think, up to the rest of Ardenfell, and we are really far away from actual, you know, any other major towns or settlements. So in order to get the materials to build this potential Mages Guild here would be, I mean, a bit difficult. I guess you could, like, send a mage, like a couple mages and some guards out manually, and have them set up some sort of teleportation spell to bring in building materials. Would that work? I don't know. But realistically, we'd need to have a set of docks, I think. I apologize. I'm kind of just, you know, speaking my thoughts out loud here. So just sort of trying to decide things on the fly. So let's say we have a barracks building here, maybe. So we'd have an entrance right there, we'd have an entrance there, maybe some dry stone walls going around the exterior, and particularly over here. Yeah, that could work. That could work. Dry stone walls. There we go, that's the curve piece. probably not the best idea to build a mod while having a model and texture replacer installed. Obviously, we have Imperial Town's revamp installed on here. I mean, we're probably not going to release this mod, so it kinda doesn't matter too much. But realistically, you know, you'd want to avoid using a lot of replaces on the install that you're making mods with. Two, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 2, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because this changes the shape of the Drystone walls, you know, how they connect. Like in the vanilla game, these were not like this. SCNR has basically, he's changed the model so there's more of a margin of error for not lining things up correctly. And that makes it quite a bit rather tricky to figure out how this would look in the vanilla game with this replacer installed, because like that is enough to hide any seams, but in the vanilla game I don't think that would work, because in the vanilla game it's kind of, you know, flat, right? Yeah, gosh. We'd have to test this in the vanilla game just to see how the Drystone walls look, and we'd probably have to redo them, I'm guessing. Okay, so let's... gosh, this is going to drive me crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so yeah, just never do this. Never do this. Never make a mod with on an install that has a ton of graphics replacers that change the shape of the objects in question. That's just, you're going in for a bad time. I mean, that looks like it lines up, but I don't know. Again, I'm just going to have to test it in the vanilla game. No way around it. Of course, if there are issues, you know, it's pretty easy to fix, you know, seams like this. If you know what you're looking for and what you're doing, and if you have grid snap turned on. Still seeing seams. We do have this at the right height, don't we? 2, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that should be right. It's not really lined up correctly. Did that do the trick? Gosh, it's so hard to tell. absolute madness. And this isn't even lined up correctly now that I look at it. And of course now we have to fix this, and we have to redo everything. We should have done this on a different install. And this is... I can't even tell. Right, there should be a seam somewhere. Okay, I kinda see a seam. A little bit, maybe. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So we need to... No, that won't do it. Okay, don't see any seams there. Well, for the moment, I don't see any seams here either. So, that's one set of Drystone walls put into place. We've got a grand total of 3 objects. Not 4 objects, I guess. It would not have taken quite that long if we were using, you know, not this particular set of replaces. But, oh well. So this is at 2642. It's about the height level I want. Okay, let's just... Driving me crazy. Okay, let's see. Where's the seams? Do we see any seams? Keeping in mind that we're just going to have to redo this again in the vanilla CS. Don't see any obvious seams. I do apologise, this is not exactly the most exciting video on the planet so far. Just looking at Drystone walls over and over again. Oh, well, that's not quite the shape I want. Okay, so straight-ish. 2642. Oh my. Such a mistake using this install. Alright. I mean, I do really like espionage assets, but gotta admit, trying to mod with them is very tricky. That works, I think, except I don't really like how that direction is going. So let's take that out and just put an in piece in there instead. And we got the the borders here to act as a natural barrier, so we don't really need the Drystone walls to go completely around. Yeah, that works. That works. Okay, so basically, we got the entrance to the compound here. We'll have some more Drystone wall over here. Maybe with an, an overlook. Might be a good. Well, there's nothing actually to see in that direction, but details. But we could have like some sort of mage training area over here. Like in Lighternia. Dordala? Dordala has a, mage training area. Right, so something like that. What about there? A little bit out. Let's get a straight piece. So that's 2585. You know what? I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time. A whole lot more time anyway on the Drystone walls. We'll just have to correct those in the vanilla CS. So, we're just going to vaguely snap them together, and then we're going to copy and paste this this mod into a different Morrowind install, and then mess around in the vanilla CS to fix the issues here, because this really doesn't make for the most exciting viewing, I don't think. Still want to check for seams though. Yeah, nothing obvious, so there we go. Oh, wait a minute. Oof. Right, okay. So that doesn't quite work, does it? So this is a terrain rock AC10. Can we get a duplicate of this? Okay, so that should cover up the issue. This is the same rock, right? AC10. It says it's the same rock. Why does it look so different then? It doesn't have the same shape at all. On that. But anyway, that's fine. So yeah, we might add in another Drystone wall over here, and one to attach back here, I think. So like right through here, maybe? I don't know. So one thing we could do is like have some sort of alchemy garden out back. Like if this is a mage's guild, they're going to want access to a bunch of plants, right? So a bunch of flowers and things like that. Maybe they have a curated garden back here. That could work. That could work. And I kind of like that idea. I mean, you already got these mushrooms right here, right? The hill is already pretty steep. Not really sure if it's necessary to have more, you know, fortifications. And you can just plant flowers around the mushrooms. And that would be rather scenic, I think. Maybe have some buried drystone walls to create, you know, boundaries for the garden. Maybe some make some pathways. That's a few ideas. But going back to our main buildings here, let's just go ahead and real quick, you know, add some windows, add some door jambs, and you know, chimneys, obviously. Gotta have some chimneys. So let's see, I'm thinking chimney placement, should it be on this side? So we got the tower there. Have to think about where the stairwell is going to go. Because we can't have the fireplace blocking the stairwell. So if we have access to the tower in this corner, like this is probably going to be a 3x3 interior, right? So that would be corner, entrance, another corner. You know, design the interior in my head here. So then you'd have corner, wall, then entrance to tower, and corner, wall, corner, stairwell, and the stairwell in the middle, go up one floor, corner, turn around, second level. So yeah, we can't have the fireplace there. We could have it on this wall though. So something like that maybe? Like just in the center of that wall. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Should this be moved out a bit? Like, how thick is this thing? So, kind of like that. I think that looks alright. Give me another chimney. Or wait a minute, that's a Nord chimney we need. So Nord chimney. So we're going to have the entrance right here probably. So it would make sense to have fireplace over here. Yeah, that just kind of looks weird, don't it? Like the size of that chimney is just all messed up. Okay, so up. Still not really caring for it. Maybe in this corner, just, you know, right across from the door. I don't know if that makes a huge amount of sense logically speaking, but cosmetically it'll maybe look a bit better. It'll probably work. So that's the entrance to our Nordic barracks. We're going to want a window. So, window 01. Probably just the one window. I don't know. Yeah, maybe two windows would be better. Looks like it's about lined up correctly. Yeah, that looks better. Definitely looks better. Okay, so we could actually just do another Nordic door or door jam for the entrance over here. For me. Now let's just get some windows. For this we're going to want common in windows, I think. A dormer, maybe a square dormer, yeah? So, like that, maybe? Doesn't look terrible. I think that works. Move this out a little bit. There we go. I think that works, yeah, ain't right. Have some more traditional windows on this side. Keep in mind we have the stairwell like right in the middle here, so can't have a window there. think that works. Do we need any windows on the first level here, back here? Probably not, right? Maybe? Yeah, I don't think so. It'll be fine, we'll just cover that up with gardens or whatnot. That said, I do want to add some more Nordic windows to the tower. Right, okay. Nordic window. Oh, wait a minute, I'm in the interior section. Okay, sorry me. Nordic window 01. There. Copy and paste. Just one more and that should be sufficient. This should be moved out just a little bit. There we go. What thrilling and exciting work this is, isn't it? Just very carefully moving windows into place. This is the sort of thrilling excitement that you subscribe for, right? Okay, so that's our basic exterior design done. I mean, we still need the doors and the chimney smoke, but I mean, it doesn't look too bad. So, just, taking an outward view here. Like, you got the Shrine of Azura there, you got the Dwemer Towers. I think it kind of blends in a little bit. I have some training, testing targets. Like I know OB data has some archery targets and things like that. So I'm hoping there's something that we can use for a mage practice area. Of course, I'm going to have to go through this and try and figure out there's so much stuff here, right? There's so much stuff in OB data. I don't know how this is quite organised. Some of it just says Fern Crate instead of some of this says MG. That's interesting, just taking a look at that. I mean, we might use that because this is a Mage's Guild. I don't know how you find targets. Normally I would look under com something. This isn't exactly organized the same way. Practice marks. Okay, so that's a marksman target. Right, so I guess we could just use these in the back. Increase the size of them a bit because they're mages, you know. So would these work for like mages trying to, you know, hit targets with fireballs, do you think? I mean, I think they might. I don't know how well that works. Really don't. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look quite right to me. Like the way they're placed. I mean, that looks a bit better, but I don't know. We might have to just test it out in game. Anyway, I was going to get some Nord doors. So Nord door 01. That looks right. Question is, though, do I use an X Nord door or an X Calm door? I'll try and resize this to maybe fit the Nordic door jam. Thing is, is that if we don't use a calm door, that means we're going to have to use a Nord door on the interior for consistency's sake. And that's going to be a bit of a hassle. I don't think we've got any other choice. Not off this door jam, anyway. It's going to be a bother. We're going to have to use a Nordic door jam and a Nordic door on the interior for a what is basically a common Imperial interior. But oh well. I mean, it looks fine from the exterior, right? That's what matters. Now, I do want a signpost and a Mage's Guild sign activator for the entrance here, like maybe something right around here. Maybe the sign could be here. Again, it feels like the developers, like they created this hill, right, with the road leading up to it, and it's an actual relative flat area. It's like they were planning to add something here, but just never got around to it. Bit mysterious, that. So we're looking for Fern, Calm. No, it's not Imperial. It should be a Calm sign base. Calm. No, I didn't see it. Should be around here somewhere. Maybe it is Imperial. No, that's not it either. Devil, what is that object ID name? I mean, it wasn't the D sign base, you know, from the Dunmiri sign base. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that. Was it? Yeah, the one I'm thinking of is like, it's like that, but it's a common Imperial style. Maybe I'm wrong. It has been a while. So see, I was thinking, you know, something like Signpost 02 here, but in the Imperial style. Isn't there something like that in the vanilla game? I could have sworn there was, but maybe I'm wrong. Ay, gosh. Oh well, we'll use this. And we'll get a Mage's Guild sign just, you know, attached to this. I think that works, so... Right. Like that, then. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Still have to do the rest of the exterior detailing. Have to, you know, put in plants, containers. We'll probably have some sort of overhang or, you know, awning along this side. Gardens in the back. We'll add some more drystone walls, maybe. But overall, this is a good enough start, and it is 5:44 AM, which means it's getting kind of late, and I need to get started on the next thing. Because I always start off the day with, you know, recording the mod testing videos, or in this case, the mod making videos. And then I move on to the mod day videos, and the scripted videos, and all that, so I'm going to leave off here, but it's only going to be a very brief break, so basically for me, it's going to be about 24 hours, but for you, it's going to be a few minutes. So, just going to leave off here, and we'll pick up this recording again tomorrow. Alright, so we're back, or I'm back, I should say. It's only been about a minute for you, but during the edit, there was, you know, about 24 hours between recording sessions, so I'm recording this at about 6 AM, which is a bit late for me. Normally I like to record things at around 4 AM, but, well, I haven't been getting enough sleep lately. But anyhow, I did, during that time period, go ahead and, in the vanilla CS, fix all our drystone walls, because those were not even remotely properly lined up correctly in the vanilla game. It's impossible to tell with this replacer that these pieces weren't lined up. I mean, Azurian's replacer is fantastic. I mean, look at that quality there. That is fantastic, but actually using it in the CS, it is really hard to tell where the seams are supposed to line up. So, yeah, that was a bit of a mess. But, you know, I went through, I fixed it, and, you know, just let that be a valuable lesson, not to rely on, an install with a ton of replaces installed. Like, if it's a texture replacer, that's fine, but if it's a mesh replacer, that could cause major issues if you're modding and someone else, when they install your mod, doesn't have the same graphics replacers that you have. And that's why I always avoid, you know, using trees or rocks near each other, because most people have one kind of tree replacer or one kind of rock replacer, and that it might not be the same replacer I have, right? So it's a bit of a messy business, that. Anyway, just to go over some of the other changes I made, I went ahead and added all the Drystone walls I was going to add, you know, while I was in the vanilla CS, so that we wouldn't have to do the whole finagling with the replacer here. So you can kind of see the outer sort of defensive boundaries. Well, it's not really defensive, but, you know, marks the boundaries of the property that we've got going here. I think it looks kind of nice. And then we have some garden boundaries. That's what these are, is to divide these two sections up into two separate gardens. Because, you know, the mages here, they're probably going to have a lot of alchemical ingredients that they're growing out here. So maybe we'll use this area for mushrooms and this area for flowers and whatnot. So, yeah, so mushroom garden, flower garden. And then in terms of the exterior, we have the practice area here. We should have some sort of awning or something over here. Maybe some supplies and additional plants over here. Maybe a drinking well somewhere, either over here or over here. And... So, we might have to change a few things about the property, though. So this is a Mage's Guild, kind of off by itself. We need to have a supplemental, you know, docks area where supplies can be brought in. We can have that down over here. That's kind of near the Shrine of Azura, but I don't know of any mods that directly impact this little spot. The Shrine of Azura overhaul by Endorian adds a dock over here, but that's not over here. Of course, we could also add a dock over there, maybe, or even over there, but there's a Velocity Tower there. And we don't know if anyone in there is friendly or not. I'd have to, like, look up in the CS if that's, who exactly lives in that Velocity Tower? Because I have no idea. Either way, we'd be looking at some sort of small cargo dock. So you'd want enough space to get maybe a longship. I don't know if a longship could actually sail through all this. I really don't know. It would be very tricky for a longship to get through here. So I don't know if that's a good spot for a dock or not. This looks a bit more clear, actually. Well, maybe not. Let's see, so if a longship was coming in from the sea, they would go through... Well, they come from over here. They go around here, and then over to here. I mean, technically possible. I mean, all three of these major dock locations has the same issue. Like, realistically, a longboat would probably dock off over here somewhere and then send in a rowboat with the supplies, but... yeah, I don't know. And looking at logistics here, so this building is going to be our barracks for the guards that we have stationed at the Mage's Guild. Yeah, the Mage's Guild main building. And something that occurred to me is that we're going to have some groundskeepers, right? It's probably not just going to be the mages working here. You have to have some groundskeepers to ferry supplies back and forth and keep things generally maintained. So I don't know if we need to add another building for the groundskeeper, or if they can live in one of these other buildings. But we will have an issue of space because we also need accommodations for the mages. We could add a basement level to the main building, and that could even go down into a cavern complex. You know, have a small cavern underneath the Mages Guild. That might be kind of neat. I'm just, you know, right now I'm just spitting out ideas, right? We're not even going to be working on the interior side of things today. We're just trying to figure out what we're doing with the exterior. So one possibility is to add an additional building either right here or right here for a groundskeeper, or have the groundskeeper quarters in one of these buildings, and then just have a basement level for other general quarters, because, you know, the mages need to have some place to stay. We're not in a town. There's no real town nearby. They have to have a place where they can actually rest. There's no inns or taverns in the vicinity. It's fairly isolated. So, right. So I was going to go ahead and add the well, and I think this is EX Nord well that I'm looking for. Yeah, that'll do it. Don't want this to be too close to the rocks, though, because again, as I stated, you know, you have to take into consideration rock replaces. Now, I don't know how high that is, actually. Can we get a demo NPC? A Shady Smuggler? Right, so how high is this? So that's about at waist height. The lid is, so that's about what you'd want it to be at. So that looks good. I figured the well would probably be pretty close to the gardens here. And is enough space though to get access to the flower gardens, right? Without this blocking everything off. I mean, I think so. I just move it over to the side a bit. Again, trying to keep in mind the rocks. So now I want to take a look at awnings, because we need an awning over here. And let's see, fern. This would be overhangs. So that's one possibility here is fern 01. That's too small. Fern 05. That's another possibility. What's 18 and 18? So what looks best? So that's that one. I mean, this is a little bit of style mixing because these are Dunmiri, Guar, leather overhangs or awnings. Well, I don't think that's that big of a deal, to be honest. I mean, you know, when in Cyrodiil, do as the Cyrodiilians do, and when in Morrowind, do as the Dunmer do. So trying to decide here, which one do I want? I don't really think I want this one. So let's delete that. So how does this one look? And that one looks alright. A little off-center maybe. I mean, basically we'd just be using this for a bit of a little bit of storage maybe, and then we'd have a table out here. Maybe a few supplies for those practicing, like trying to hit the targets and everything. we should probably add some railings, come to think of it. The railing 04. So just to have this, this target area just sort of marked off to avoid mages just standing right next to the targets. Like, they wouldn't do that anyway. Fireballs have area of effect. I wonder about the scale and size of these things. Like, it's always tricky in the CS to actually see how large a lot of this stuff is. Might need to get out that shady smuggler again and just make sure these targets aren't too massive. That goes right into the rock, doesn't it? Well, let's put out another railing. 06, that's what I was looking for. Height level is 2546. Now you might be wondering why I'm even bothering doing this. Again, you gotta keep in mind rock replaces, so right now it just goes right into the rock. But if someone else has a different rock replacer or vanilla rocks, that rope might actually just be out in open air and not connected to the rock, so, gotta keep that in mind. Anyway, let's get out our shady smuggler again. I want to know how tall these things are. Okay, so that railing is about the height level you'd expect. And yeah, these things aren't massive. Okay, I was a little worried about that. I'm still debating about this awning just a little bit here. But I think that works, I think it works. I do wonder if I should just reposition these a little bit. I don't really like having the rope just go right into the rock over there. Because, like, what is holding it? What's the anchor holding the rope in the rock? Is that enough? It's just barely enough. Just barely enough is good enough. Most rock replaces probably won't expand the size of this too much. So, if you consider this as an extreme size of the rock, it should, it works, I think. Yeah, it should work. Though we'll have to, check this out in the vanilla game just to, see how it looks. But anyway, that's that done. So we've got our drinking well over here. Awning. Railings around the practice area. So should we go straight to the gardens, or should we focus on another area? I think I did see some Guar carts in the old data assets that I do want to take a look at. So, supplies would have to come in from wherever the dock is going to be, which is probably going to be over there. And this is up a hill, so you're going to want carts. Question though, does this mean that we need to have some guars around? Like a couple of stable guars? You know, guars in a stable? Have a set of stables somewhere? I mean, we could have those maybe down by the docks. Let's see. Or just thinking here. Is there enough space right here to have some sort of makeshift Guar stable? Do you think? Now let's get out of Guar. Like a pack Guar, that is. Let's see, how big are these things? Technically there's enough space, just barely? I don't know. Don't know if that would work. So maybe we could have some hay and a trough of water back here, and the pack bar, and then a railing or something. Or a gate? I don't know. Not really sure about that. Oh gosh, just sort of thinking here. Because if we need to have a Guar, obviously it needs to have an enclosure somewhere. And there's still the question about the groundskeeping, where he's going, or she's going to live. So theoretically, if we needed another house for a groundskeeper, could we just put it here? I mean, that could work, right? What sort of door do these things use? I can't remember. These are always such strange buildings to use. Just because of their shape, the shape of their doorways, you know? It's so odd looking. Okay, so how does that look though? And that doesn't look too bad. So that's the groundskeeper's house. The door still bothers me though, a little bit with how it looks. Does that bother no one else? Like, just don't know what Bethesda was thinking when they were designing this particular building. Just looks very odd to me. But maybe we just need to decrease the scale here. Yeah, that looks better. A little bit better. So we'd have the groundskeeper's house right here. The barracks for the guards. We probably have 2 or 3 guards. 1 guard in the main building. Probably a guard out here. Or maybe 2 guards out here somewhere. Or a guard over there. Yes, I realise there's a bit of feature creep going on here. We started out with 1 building, now we're up to 3 buildings, and we have a set of docks to build still, and it is just getting a little bit out of control, isn't it? That's the problem with modding. There's always more feature creep. Now let's look for those guar cots again. There was a couple other varieties of guar cots. So right, top. It's kind of neat looking. Okay, just rotating this a bit so that's even with the ground. There we go. So we got a cot there. Maybe one in front of the groundskeeper's house? Oh, that goes right through the sign, doesn't it? I mean, we could move the sign, but I kind of like what, the sign being there. I'm not so sure I like the cart being there. The slope looks a little too steep for a cart to put on the side. So wherever the cart goes, it needs to be somewhere up here. Having them right side by side, that might be a bit too much. I don't know, it doesn't look too bad. We'll leave it as is for now and try and figure out whether or not we want to change it later. Okay, so Groundskeepers hut, barracks, Mage's Guild. Oh right, we need a chimney. And maybe a couple windows? I mean, with these two windows up here, it really isn't necessary to add windows, but we still need the chimney. I think that looks decent, right? Yeah, it's fine. Also trying to, take into consideration how this will look to the player when they first approach it. So I got this pack war though. I mean, maybe it doesn't need to be an enclosure. Like, in vanilla Morrowind, a lot of guars, like pack wars, are just, out in the open. So you could just put this fellow over here. Near the carts. That's just, that's probably going to be a stand-in anyway. I don't know what the AI wander is on this thing. Alright, so maybe we should start in with the gardens. So if we want these to be mushrooms, we need a bit of verticality, right? So that means adding in some tall vertical components to go with the mushrooms. And there are different varieties of mushrooms. We've got shelf mushrooms, which would need some sort of log or tree stump to grow on, I think. We have the other types of mushrooms. It looks like Oak Data does add a few other kinds of mushrooms as well. Don't really know what all these are. I think this is a mushroom. Well, we won't mess with it. Let's say... Oh. There's a crate MG. Doesn't have anything in it though. Right, let's just focus on flora then. So I was thinking maybe some sort of muck sponge to create that element of verticality. Plus I think muck sponges are native to this environment, aren't they? Ah well, it's not that unrealistic. I've used muck sponges before. The question though is which kind to use here. So I'm just getting these all out. think this one, not that one, not that one. This one and this one. Right, so let's throw this in first. Reduce the scale of it a bit. Keep in mind there are some muck sponge replacers out there that do change the size and shape a little bit, but it shouldn't be anything too extreme. I also want some marshmallow, I think. Just give me 01, 02. Want that one though. Before we mess around with this too much, I do want to get some sort of log or tree stump in here for the shell fungus. So that should be Flora BC, right? Devil, they don't actually have it listed as a tree stump, do they? They probably have it listed as a tree, even though it's a tree stump. Gosh, that's annoying. Is it 13? Okay, so 13's a tree stump. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work. Like, it'd be nice to have some tree, some shell fungus, but, whew, yeah, I don't like the color of this wood. And having a BC tree stump in the Azurian Coast is a bit strange. Is there anything else that could potentially work? Like, maybe we could just have the shell fungus over here growing on this thing, on that thing, on the parasols. Maybe that would work. Yeah, that could work. But then what are we going to do with this bit? something that goes to the muck sponges around somewhere. Is there? Yeah, there's a muck pod. I don't understand why this looks so different though. It's gotta be a replacer that I have installed. Okay, well that's a start anyway. So if we don't use this area exclusively for mushrooms... sorry, just a bit tired. So we don't use it for just mushrooms. Let's see, we could have some marshmallows scattered about here and there. We have a few mushrooms over here. A few mushrooms over there. We need something in this middle area though. Sorry, I keep going silent. I'm just sort of, you know, thinking. Like, I like gardening. I mean, you know, this kind of gardening anyway. Don't really care if it did in real life, though. This is the only kind of gardening I can really tolerate. But, having said that, it does take a bit of time to try and figure out how you're going to design things. The key with marshmallow is to try and make it seem like it's not just duplicates of all the same plant a bit, so that means rotating them a bit and changing their angles so they and height so they don't all look exactly the same. Also increasing or decreasing the scale build, yeah, just a bit helps too. Container. I want a few mushrooms over in this corner. that. Also need to add in some grass. By which I mean like some fern grass or something. To add a bit more variety. I don't know about this one. Just throw this one over here, maybe? Let's throw it over here. Okay, so just rotation. Well, not terrible. Right, let's get some more marshmallow plants. I do think, what is it? Oak Data has bundles of marshmallow plants? I don't know if I want to use those at the moment. Might be a decent idea for later, though. To fill in some of the garden backgrounds. Right. So let's see. We've got a bit of an idea as to how we're going to, structure this. Let's see. Now we got a BC fin. Yeah, BC fin. That's a sloth fin. Will that make a good centerpiece, I wonder? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. What else could work here? We've got crashweed, which is obviously native to this region. Could add some of that. That one's almost too big, isn't it? Can that work there? Yeah, I don't think that would work. What else we got? salt rice. Obviously, I have epic plants installed, so this isn't exactly what it normally looks like, the salt rice. But it doesn't look too bad, gotta say. So I'm not terribly opposed to having this over here somewhere. Keeping in mind that in the vanilla game it will look a bit different. Okay, so let's see what else. We got wheat. I think the salt rice goes better with the marshmallow and the mushrooms. There. Let's see. Okay. So what else can we add in here? That won't look too terrible. Now we could add some hacklow. Or hackolow. Yeah, whatever it's called. And Oak Data has some varieties on this that we might want to take a look at. So let's take a look at those varieties. So these are kind of like more like palm trees. And kind of interesting looking. Hacklow is typically found in the grazelands. Oof, that's bloody massive. Okay, anything? Yeah, that'll do the trick, right? I mean, I think that's kinda neat. Not sure if it really works that well, but it's neat looking. Definitely neat looking. I'm just going to keep it like that for now. I mean, if it doesn't work, we can figure out how to fix it later. Now, what we might need is some very small terrain rocks to go in with the garden. So we're looking for terrain rock AC. And we're just going to have to mess around until we find something of the appropriate size. Because I can't remember which ones are the small ones. And that's not... well, that's kind of big. Well, that one's pretty small. There we go. So that's AC01. 02 isn't too massive. And 03. Right. Again, keep in mind, with rock replaces, yeah, we don't want this too close to the mushrooms. So size could be different. This is also why I don't want to use the shelf fungus on the rocks. Is because with rock replaces, it can be a bit tricky. Like you see people do it all the time, right? You add shelf fungus to the sides of rocks, and then they get buried or they float. And ditto for trees, by the way. I mean, so far that's kind of an interesting looking garden, right? It's not terrible. Still needs some work around the edges here, though. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, Data has a wheelbarrow, doesn't it? Maybe that'd probably be under Fern. Wheelbarrow. There we go. We'll just I think that would be kind of neat over here on the side. Have to adjust the rotation though. It's almost right. There we go. So we got our wheelbarrow. Now what we could do is add some more mushrooms up here in front. Maybe have another salt rice. Keep in mind that we need to add the blue atmospheric lighting around the mushrooms, so we want to be careful of where we put those. We don't want too much, blue lighting. So an atmospheric blue light there, an atmospheric blue light there, maybe one here in the center. See if we can get back to flora. Is there anything else that would work in this particular spot? I mean, there's the bittergreen plant, but I'm pretty sure those things are massive. I mean, it would make sense for the Mage's Guild to have access to bittergreen petals, but I don't know if it really works here. So we're going to throw that off to the side. We might use that in the other garden. Okay, so what else can we add in here? Should probably add a couple more marshmallow. Just debating if we need any flowers right in here. Like, flowers could look nice. They might clash with the, you know, the types of plants that we also have in here. Like, this isn't a particularly flowering spot. Decisions. What do we go with? What do we go with? I don't know. Gosh, I don't really think those work. Yeah, the thrilling content you subscribe to. Trying to decide on how to fill in this tiny little bit of plant life. Really thrilling stuff. We do need a bit of flora grass anyway, so let's check it. Just take a look at flora grass. So that's flora BC grass is what I'm looking for. That's BM. BC. And this could work, right? And it kind of works. It's got about the same color scheme as everything else. And let's see, we'll also put in just one little fern. One eeny bitsy little fern. And then we can fill in the rest with, oh gosh, I guess mushrooms. Get that in. Little bit of rotation there. Okay, so there we go. And that is, I guess, our first garden. Might need a bit of touching up here and there, but I don't know. I think it looks alright. Still leaves our other garden, and we have detailing to do over here, over here, over here. So still quite a bit of exterior work to do. But I'm going to have to leave off here because it's already 7:18 AM and I have to get moving on to the next thing that we have to do today. There's always more work to do. So, again, there's going to be a bit of an edit, and it'll be a minute or two for you, but for me it's going to be at least another 24 hours before we get back to the rest of this. So, I'm just going to stop the recording there. Alright, another day, another bit of modding. So one thing I want to note here is that this is my first time using OBS, and I didn't realize that you could set the bass level for the background music and desktop audio. So I apologize if that's been a little too loud so far. I've set the background audio to -5 dB. And I'm hoping that's enough for my voice to carry through over the background music, but I guess we'll see. You know, this is a bit of trial and error a little bit, so, you know, let me know if the music is still an issue. Even though this is, you know, still the first video that we're doing in this format, so... we'll figure things out for future videos and, you know, try and mess around with that a bit. But anyway, in the last 24 hours since we last did a recording, I went ahead and added in some more Drystone walls, just you know, around the road here. Originally I was just going to add this bit to, you know, make this house here, the groundskeeper's house, you know, fit in with the rest of the compound. And then I got a bit of inspiration because, you know, the hills here and the Drystone walls, I think they look really good together. So I went ahead and added some Drystone walls just around the road. You know, so it has a bit of a crossroads feel, because that's what it is. I'm thinking we could probably add in like a signpost with signs directing to nearby locations. And, maybe a little seating area and some clutter here and there, and I do want to do some terrain detailing, just around here and around here, just, you know, to add some clutter to the terrain. You know, rocks, more parasol, mushrooms, that sort of dealio. But yeah, you know, the feature creep is real and is, yeah, maybe getting a little bit out of hand already. But you know, this could be a really nice looking location if we just put the time and effort in to give it that extra layer of polish. So today, what I'm going to be focusing on is this garden here. You know, we have a few random things that we didn't use over here, just off to the side. And unlike this mushroom garden, this is going to be pretty simple, I think. I have a pretty good idea of what I want to use over here. We're going to have flowers, we're going to have some bushes, some of these giant creshweed. Is that what they're called, right? Creshweed? Things. We're probably not going to use the hackle though. And I doubt we'd be using the bitter green petals for anything. So, right. I want to get my statics and get some flora. Because I want to enhance... Well, first, I do want to see, because I know that OB data includes some similar things. Parasol small, like how small is that? Yeah, that's positively tiny. Okay, never mind. I don't think we can use that for anything. Let's see, some of these parasol bonsais, mayhaps? These could be useful. That's... I don't think we can use that one though. Just going to drag these off to the side so we can figure out where to use them if we're going to use them. First, let's move this creshweed into place. I'm thinking maybe over here in the corner. I'm just checking our playlist because I could have sworn this was Epidemic Sound. Yeah. Okay. I guess I have a bit of a mismatch on this playlist. Sorry about that. It's kind of like a version of Electro Swing. I do really like Electro Swing. It's one of my favorite types of music. And it's just kind of bopping. I think that's good enough for the creshweed. So let's move on to the rest of the plants. Okay. So in terms of containers, I was going to use... I noticed this blue Kinet stuff earlier. And I think that might be interesting to use here. So throw this off to the side again. Until we figure out where we're going to put it. But obviously we want all the other flowers and whatnot. Probably use some cornberry bushes. Probably not fire ferns. Gold Kinet those, definitely. Just throw those off to the side. Not muck sponges. Meadow rye? Could maybe use that. Just throwing things off to the side at the moment, if we can use them. Stone flowers are going to be pretty obvious. I don't actually know where I'm going to put all this just yet, but we'll figure it out. Willow flower. Just kind of just throwing everything right here at the moment until I figure out what I'm going to do. But I do want a few more flora items. but this time not from mob data. Where are those things? They're not the imp parasols, they're the, what are they called? Actually, are they Tree Azura's Coast? Yeah, they are. Okay. This is what I was looking for. Okay. So I wanted to add a few of these in here. Add a bit of verticality to the garden. Okay, tree AC. Right, that's these things. So let's see, where do we want to put this? Oh, I mean, if we put that there, I don't want this here. This over here. Alright, let's get these bonsai things and put those into place. Because these can kind of act like shrubbery or bushes. You know, like a replacement for shrubbery or bushes or whatnot. Paste. So basically, right now I'm doing is sort of, I guess you'd call these like the anchors almost. we'll use these, these mushroom plants to sort of anchor the rest of the garden. It's, yeah, kind of what I'm getting at. And I think we should get some more crashweed. I want maybe 1 or 2 crashweed-like plants to scatter in here and there. Not that one. 03? Give me 03. There we go. I'm not a huge fan of the texture replacer that Epic Plants uses for the crashweed. I think it's a little too bright green, don't you think? I feel like there was maybe a better option they could have used there. That fits in more with the rest of the environment. Because it does kind of stand out, and I every time I see an environment with crashweed, I kind of think, yeah, gosh, it stands out so much. It's just that colour of green, you know? If they had a different colour of green, it wouldn't be such a problem. I mean, I really like Epic Plants otherwise. It's a great replacer. Right, conberry bushes. Okay, so we're going to add some of these in. But where to put them? And we might need just 1 more crashweed. Okay, here we go. Okay, so like I was saying, conberry bushes. You want these scattered in there. They're a darker green, so I don't want them too close to the crashweed. There's also not a lot of variety for conberry bushes. I kind of wish that Bethesda had made like 2 or 3 different models instead of just the one. Because obviously you can't have too many of these close together, otherwise they just sort of become repetitive due to the lack of diversity in models that you can find for them. I mean, mostly you have to rely on like rotating them, changing their size a bit in order to make them seem a bit different. Let's put this one over here. Maybe over here? Maybe over here. Okay, let's get 1 more over on this side. you know, I want to be just a little bit wary of these giant parasols, because, you know, these Emperor parasols, because there's plenty of replaces for them, though I don't think any of them really change the size and shape of the parasols too much. Not like with a lot of the tree replaces, anyway. I'll throw in one more Conberry bush behind here. I mean, the player will probably never go back here, but, you know, in case they're, like, levitating over the environment, they will see that there is, you know, just a bit of stuff going on back here. Also, I would like to cover up that bloody crashweed that's just going right through the wall there. I don't want to move vanilla game objects too much, because that can create incompatibilities and other issues, and I think it's technically considered a dirty reference or dirty edit by TS3 command, so we want to avoid moving too many vanilla game objects if we can. Alright, so that's the basics, I think, of our garden. You can see where we can probably start planting in the flowers and everything. Yeah, and also we still have one of these things. This would actually look good right around here, I think, you know, right on the edge. Well, not facing that way. Sink it in just a little bit more. Right. And let's figure out what we're doing with the golden connect. Yeah, golden connect. I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce them or not. It's just, yeah. Okay, that looks decent. That looks alright, right? Oh, I think so. A bit of that variety in there. In terms of the colour scheme. Is that going to work there? I don't know. put a willow flower there, and then let's rotate this thing a bit. That doesn't look right. Maybe something like that. Decrease the height a bit. I mean, you know what could work down here is maybe some heather? Of course, I am using epic plants though, so this heather doesn't look like, you know, the normal heather that you'd see in the vanilla game. Because that's a bit more flat, and this is a bit more vertical. And vertical is better, you know, no question that vertical is better than flat. But it does mean it's going to appear slightly different, depending on what you got installed. Which might be well, something to be a little bit concerned about. I mean, we can, you know, test in the, you know, with the vanilla graphics. I mean, that's what we've been doing with the Drystone walls anyway. Gosh, that's just really tall, isn't it? Massive, that. Let's get another willow flower for the back there. Yeah, looks decent. I should do something about this space over here. Maybe throw in some marshmallow or something. I mean, we don't have to worry about that right now, though. You know, I don't want to spend all day doing gardening. Plus, we don't have that much time for gardening anyway. It's already 5:54 AM. We've got to get started on these things early in the day. We really do. See. bit, move it out slightly. And we need some smaller plants to sort of fill that out a bit. But we do also have this rock. It's going to move that somewhere. Where should I put that? You know what this music kind of reminds me of? Kind of reminds me of Risen. Which, by the way, not a bad game, really. You know, it's, you know, one of those mid-tier RPGs. I always kind of liked it. Not big or anything, but, you know, it's decent. I understand some people don't like it, though, because it's not, you know, some big open-world RPG. Okay. So, I mean, this is, like, supposed to be an ingredient garden, so I know we're having just this huge mismatch of ingredient, or, you know, plants that don't really grow in this climate normally, but hey, it's a Mage's Guild. If you need an explanation, it's magic, okay? It's just magic. They run their ingredient gardens on magic. You know, a wizard did it. And that would be an accurate statement. A wizard did do it, technically. Something I am wondering about is how much room we want to leave for maybe potential paths. Like, we could have, you know, a path going through the garden, like, just right around the edges, maybe. Probably isn't a huge amount of room for a path, but it's something we could consider, or we could just leave it as just plain old grass. And, you know, not really overly detail it too much. Alright, so let's adjust the rotation here. Decrease size by just a little bit. Right, so... And that doesn't look terrible so far. We got a good start at least. And to add a few more golden canets down here. Okay, so let's maybe just one more. Right, so let's see. Maybe a bit of heather. Might be decent. And some more stone flour, I think. Alright, and there's the sedge stuff. What about that? You know what we could do is add one of those pod plants, you know, these things. So what is that? That's flora something or other. Yeah, tea pod bud. I mean, it would make sense for there to be a few of these in the garden, considering how many, you know, just giant emperor parasols there are. Also want to look at flora grass. Let's see. Yeah, we should add some tufts of grass here and there. I mean, obviously, most people are going to be using ground cover replaces, or no, not replaces, but you know, just ground cover, animated ground cover. But it still helps to have some of these tufts of grass here and there. It does kind of feel like we need something right there. I don't know what we'd use. We need something small. Guess we could go for more flora grass. We've got a few different varieties here. And also, does oak data add any grass? Oof, that doesn't look very good at all, does it? Let's check oak data, see what they've got in the grass department. Don't see anything marked as grass. Sort of figured there'd be something there. Some AC saplings. But that's not really what I'm looking for. Right, forgot about these things. To see come by flowers. Oh, Timsa. Timsa? Timsa come by flowers, that's what they're called. Oops, right. Clicked on the wrong thing. I don't know if those are going to work there. I don't know about that. Maybe we shouldn't worry about too much about this front area. I mean, it's debatable if we even need this Drystone wall boundary that we have here. Might be a bit of a useless... I mean, like, if we want a path to go around, or if the idea is that people would travel around here, do we need a border right here? I mean, maybe not. Or maybe we do, because it marks, you know, the beginning of the alchemy garden. So mages don't trample through there, you know. I imagine there's probably someone in charge of the gardens. Could be the groundskeeper, but it's probably probably some wizard or some, you know, someone. Okay, so let's see. What do I want to do next? We need to have some more plants over here, ideally. And some more plants right around the Emperor Parasol. What kind of plants? Not really entirely sure yet. Maybe some more stone flowers. So stone flowers there. It feels like we need something right there too. We might use some floor grass there. Okay, so back to plants. There we go. So I think this is kind of coming along. So, still need to fill in a couple gaps though. So what are we going to put here? Could do more willow flowers. might be just poking out a bit too far. Maybe throw that back a bit. Change the rotation slightly. Alright, how does that look? Yeah, that's not too bad. Right, throw a small tuft of grass right here. The thrilling adventures of grass placement. Huzzah! Yeah, that's probably fine. Really, just let's do bother. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Maybe. I don't know. I'll probably change my mind at some point. Okay, so let's see, that's that. This would actually be a good spot for some more willow flowers, I think. Get some of that contrast with the pink and blue. I mean, pink and blue, that's a good combo. You know, I just realized I forgot about the black anther. That's another plant we should have in here. No, I was forgetting something. So we need to find some spots to put in some black anther. Just can't believe I forgot about those. Right, so that's a bit of black anther there. Should probably scatter some more about somewhere though. I also want another tuft of grass right there. And maybe just one horn lily bulb, or bulb, I mean. Or just Torn Lily, that's what I mean. Right. Right, that looks fine. So maybe some just black anther right around here. And I wouldn't have something else right here. Okay, so Black Anther. We'll add a couple over here, I think. Just decrease the size a bit. So I'm not sure about this rotation. Okay, so I don't know if that looks good, but let's just leave it for now. Alright, so how does the garden look? Well, I mean, I think it looks fine. I mean, still got this little bit of area that might need something. But I think it'll be alright if we leave it empty. I would like to add some more marshmallow over to the side. But I do kind of want to move on to something else. We've been at this for a little while. Plus we do kind of need to check things out in game before we do anything too crazy with changing things up here. Because it looks fine in the CS, but it might look completely different once we get in game. You might notice more issues and whatnot. So anyway, I wanted to do a bit of terrain detailing, so let's get to that. First, let's just do a quick save. And I really love Emperor Parasols, you know, there's just so much verticality with them. And I do want to add a few more to the terrain here. So let's see, there's 3 of them, right? So I'm thinking of adding one here a little bit. I kind of feel like this area needs something. Could also maybe use some more terrain rocks. Maybe add another... actually, I don't want to add anything right there. I like how that looks already. But maybe one over here, and a couple down here. So, yeah. So there's one. Does that look go right? Don't think that one's going to work there. Let's try this one. Yeah, that looks okay. This might work better down here. One over here. Yeah, we do need some of those other ones. Right, okay, let's get this one. Then we need some of those trees, AC. Right, where is that? It is kind of odd how Bethesda didn't actually add anything right here. You can kind of see in the terrain that it's sort of just like an empty gap around here. That's just a bit unusual. You know, when you can compare it to the rest of the terrain. I don't know, maybe they just didn't have time to do, you know, do a lot of detailing right here. Or maybe they were planning to add something here. Again, the road layout is a bit odd. Like there was something more planned for this part of the region that just never actually got added in. Yeah, we are going to have to update the playlist for the next video, I think. Alright, give me some terrain rocks. Got an idea to detail this hillside. Terrain rock AC. I think it's the bigger numbers that are usually larger. That looks okay. Maybe, I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. Okay, so I just want a couple rocks over here. And let's see, I still need some tree ACs. Let's see, what do we got? That doesn't look too bad. Maybe add some more crashweed over here. I'm just sort of looking at the rest of the terrain here to sort of see how the environment is set up. Okay, there we go. Again, not bad looking. Still need something over here though. My verticality senses are tingling like we're missing something. Didn't want to add an Emperor Parasol over here though, so let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, that just fits in rather well, doesn't it? Kind of just blends in. But yeah, so let's see, let's go back to static. And floor 3 AC 04. So one of the things we could do is increase the size of this. Maybe that'll fill in the gap a bit. Does that work, or does that seem just too artificial? I don't know. I mean, I think it kinda works a little bit. We're still going to need to add some more things around. Like some of those T-buds. So let's take a look at those. That's T-pod bud. Right, so that's these things. Alright, so it's not too close to the rock, is it? Yeah, I think that's fine. We can add some bigger ones over here. So that's a 4, let's do a 3. And where'd that go? Gosh, 3s are tiny, aren't they? Okay, not a 3 then. Let's do a 2. Also not exactly massive, but can increase the scale. It's that electro swing track again, isn't it? Okay. I get the feeling that this playlist isn't nearly as long as we need it to be for a video like this. So I apologize for the repetition. Let's get another terrain rock. Well, not that one. I'm thinking of something... something like that. Except maybe larger. Rotate it. Then maybe get another giant crashweed-like thing over here. Let's up the scale just a bit. I think that does the trick. I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Do wonder if we need another Drystone wall in here somewhere though, like maybe like a curve right here. What do you think? Would that look good? I mean, it's a slope, and that's a bit tricky with Drystone walls because, you know, there's only the one, you know, downward slope type of Drystone wall, and it's not exactly very versatile. That could be an option. We could just leave it as is. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but I don't know. Do want to add a crashweed over here though. That looks good. Still don't know what to do about this though, because it just doesn't look quite right. Like, okay, would an Emperor Parasol right here actually improve anything, or... gosh. I feel like it needs more verticality right there. But who knows, maybe I'm just being silly. Anyway, let's go ahead and add another AC tree. Tree AC. Just think one of these would look kind of good over here. So far so good. One question is, does this need anything? Do you need to add more terrain rocks along this slope, do you think? I mean, I would like to add some terrain rocks over here, especially. And what are these things called? XT... Right, so I do want maybe one of those. So let's go ahead and grab one. It's XTM. Not exactly a lot of those, are there? Not much variety. Okay, so let's see what else would work. 11. Are these mostly standalones, or... Well, they do seem to often be standalone. So maybe move these rocks off a bit. And add some more rocks over here. Sorry, I'm going a bit quiet. I'm just, sort of thinking about how to make these rock formations. Terrain detailing isn't really my forte, so to speak. Yeah, that looks okay. Probably need some more crashweed though. one thing to note here is that, well, as you all probably know, because I've talked about it before, I don't really like doing a whole lot of landscape texturing and shading, because I worry that can cause a lot of mod conflicts, like unintentional mod conflicts. I mean, multiple mods can occupy the same space without conflicting, but if two mods occupy the same space and they both make landscape edits, they will conflict. So often I avoid doing that, but at the same time we might want to consider doing some terrain shading in order to make these formations blend in easier. But, I mean, that's not something we needed to decide right away, obviously. Right, so let's get some Flora tea, pod buds. I want another one over here somewhere. And let's see, trees AC. Is this going to fit in over here? So I'd like to get something in here. But again, we have to be wary about rock replaces, and this is really close quarters. I mean, I guess that kind of fits. It looks alright. Now I want some smaller terrain rocks right around here somewhere. Nothing major. Terrain rock AC, so something in the, yeah, 0-3 can work. don't know about the 01. Let's get out a 02. Well, that's marginally better. Alright, so I think that looks pretty decent so far. Still don't know about this area. I mean, I guess it's fine at the moment. We can just leave it as is for now, and maybe after, you know, playtesting it in game, maybe we'll decide to add in some more terrain rocks. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave off here for this episode. So, this is going to be really long, I think. This is going to be, what, like probably closer to 4 hours long. It's an insanely long first episode. But next time, we'll get to work on doing the miscellaneous detailing, you know, adding in crates, adding smoke to the chimneys, you know, the fun stuff like the exterior lighting, and other, you know, miscellaneous bits. The well needs a bucket, obviously. Lantern hooks. Everyone loves a good lantern hook placement. I mean, that stuff's the jam. And maybe we'll also get to the docks next time as well, which I think we're going to put over there. So, yeah. Until next time, thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you all later.